We all do it. We see someone well-dressed, and we assume they're successful. We see a fancy car, and we might think the owner is rich and important. This isn't necessarily wrong, but it's also not the whole story. This is the halo effect in action. It's our tendency to let one positive trait overshadow everything else. Think of a celebrity, maybe a famous athlete. We see their skill on the field, and that positive impression spreads to other aspects of their lives. We might assume they're kind, intelligent, or even good people, simply because they're incredibly talented at their sport. That's the halo effect at work. One positive characteristic creates a sort of glowing aura that colors our perception of everything else about that person. It's not just about appearances either. If a company has a great reputation for customer service, we might be more forgiving of other flaws. We might overlook a slightly higher price or a minor inconvenience because their overall image is positive. This is why companies invest so much in building a strong brand image. A positive halo effect can make all the difference. The same principle applies in many areas of life. A teacher known for being patient might also be seen as more effective, even if their actual teaching methods aren't perfect. But here's the catch. The halo effect can lead to unfair judgments. We're essentially making assumptions without all the facts. Someone might be impeccably dressed because they're preparing for a job interview, not because they're already incredibly successful. That fancy car could be leased, or maybe it's a gift. We're often judging a book by its cover without reading a single page. The reverse is also true. The horns effect is the opposite, where one negative trait colors our entire perception of someone or something. If a politician makes one controversial statement, we might instantly distrust everything they say, even if most of their policies are beneficial. We might dismiss a brilliant scientist's work because we've heard they have a difficult personality. This negative halo can be just as unfair and inaccurate as the positive one. Consider a job interview. A nervous candidate might stumble over their words, giving the impression of incompetence. But their nervousness might mask a wealth of talent and experience. The interviewer, swayed by the initial negative impression, might miss out on a truly qualified individual. This is a very real example of the horns effect. Recognizing the halo effect is crucial for making fair and balanced judgments. It's about being aware of our biases and actively working to overcome them. We need to be careful not to let a single positive or negative impression dominate our overall assessment of someone or something. We should try to gather more information to get a clearer, more complete picture. It's about looking past the superficial and digging a little deeper. Think about how you evaluate products, for instance. Do you let a flashy advertisement sway your judgment, even if the product reviews are mixed? Or perhaps a positive first experience with a particular brand makes you ignore any subsequent issues you have with their service. Understanding the halo effect helps us to be more critical consumers, more careful in our decision-making, whether it's deciding on a new phone, a new car, or even a new friend. This awareness extends to our personal relationships as well. Do we judge our friends solely on their outward achievements, overlooking the struggles they may be facing? Do we assume a quiet person is shy and uninteresting, without trying to get to know them better? Recognizing the halo effect helps us to build stronger relationships by focusing on substance rather than surface. It encourages us to see beyond initial impressions and foster deeper understanding. In the workplace, being aware of the halo effect is essential for fairness and effective leadership. Managers should evaluate employees on their actual performance, not just on their charisma or likability. A promotion should be based on merit, not on a positive first impression. Promoting someone solely based on a good vibe they give off can create dissatisfaction among others who worked harder but were overlooked. Ultimately, overcoming the halo effect is about cultivating critical thinking. It's about asking questions, seeking evidence, and actively challenging our assumptions. It's about striving for objectivity and fairness in our judgments, avoiding the trap of letting one factor eclipse all others. This is an important step towards building a more accurate and nuanced understanding of the world around us. It's about seeing the whole picture, not just the shiny cover. Understanding the halo effect is not about eliminating our initial impressions. That's unrealistic. It is instead about acknowledging the power those first impressions have and about actively counteracting their potentially distorting influence on our overall judgment. By learning to appreciate the complexity of individuals and things, we can make more informed, more fair, and ultimately better decisions.